post for entity. Post for entity method is used to send HTTP post request to the given URL. Whenever we are developing a client program, we need to send HTTP request to the REST API. When we are developing a client program, we need to send HTTP request to the REST API or REST resource. Based on the documentation, we will understand whether we need to send a GET request or we need to send a POST request. If you really want to send a GET request to the REST API, then you will go for GET for entity method. If you want to send a POST request, then you will go for POST for entity method. Guys, in the interview, they may ask you one question: how to send HTTP headers using REST template. Now, when we are sending the request to the REST API, are we sending HTTP headers in the request? When we are sending a request to the REST API, are we sending headers? Do you know the headers? Accept header, content type header. So you know the headers, right? While sending a request to the REST API, we will send the request by using some headers. Accept headers, content type headers will be available. How to send those headers from our REST template? How to send HTTP headers using REST template? That is the interview question. How to send HTTP headers using REST template? How to send HTTP headers using REST template? To send headers, we will use exchange method. By using exchange method, we can send HTTP headers also in the REST template. By using exchange method, we can send HTTP headers. By using exchange method, we can send HTTP headers. Okay, now simple example. Let's go here, our previous program only, which we have developed in the last session. Here we are creating one method. We created one method which is used to book the ticket. Okay, now guys, if you observe, I have created a REST template object and I am using post for entity method. I am passing three parameters. One is endpoint URL, second one is the request object, third one is the string type. I want to send a post request. Post for entity means post request to this URL, and in the request I want to send the data available in the object, and I want the response in the string. Whatever the response comes from the REST API, I want to store that response into string variable, string type. Okay, here am I sending any headers in the request? Am I sending any headers in the request, guys? Come on. I'm not sending any headers in the request. Now, I want to tell to the REST API, I'm sending the data in the JSON format. How can I tell the server that? How can I tell to the REST API, my client is sending, our client program is sending a JSON data, accept a header or content type a header? Accept a header or content type a header? Come on. Which header is used to specify we are sending JSON data in the request body? Content type, na? Chalo. I am commenting this code. Okay. Let me comment this code. Alright, we no need to comment all these things also. Single line of code I am going to comment. Before going to do that commenting, here I am going to create one object for a class which is called as HTTP headers. I will create one object for a class with a name called HTTP headers. Guys, for interview perspective, I am covering this. I need to create an object for a class with a name called HTTP headers. Whatever the headers you want to send in the request, you can set to HTTP headers class. Whatever the headers you want to send in the request, you can set to HTTP headers class. HTTP headers, headers is equal to HTTP headers is equal to new HTTP headers. HTTP headers is equal to new HTTP headers. Headers dot add key comma value. Headers dot add key comma value. You can do that setup by using headers dot set content type. Set content type. You can use media type. You can use media type dot application underscore JSON value. That's nothing but we are setting the data. We are setting the content type as a JSON. Application underscore JSON. Application underscore JSON. Content type I'm setting as application underscore JSON, which is equal to application slash JSON. Set content type. HTTP headers is equal to new HTTP headers. Headers dot set content type media type as application slash JSON. Okay. Now I have my headers object ready. Now post request na I need to send the data, header data, and I need to send the body data. Header is what? Content type. Body is what? Passenger data. Now I need to send header separately, body separately, or I need to prepare header and body as one request and I need to send that request. Here I have the data to send, passenger data. This is my payload. This data I will send in the body. Now I want to tell that the body data is in the JSON format. For that I have a header. Now I need to combine the header and body, or I no need to combine the header and body. Do I need to combine the header and body, or I no need to combine the header and body? Come on guys. I need to combine the header and body. In order to combine the header and body, there is a concept called HTTP entity. What is that concept guys? HTTP entity, I'm going to tell request entity is equal to new HTTP entity of passenger request body. The body data is the passenger request object. Headers also I'm passing. So this is going to create the object with the header and body. This is going to create the object with the header and body. Are you guys able to understand what is the topic? How to send HTTP headers using REST template. In order to send the HTTP headers, first I have created HTTP headers object. For that header object I am setting the content type, media type dot application underscore JSON. That means I am setting content type as a JSON value. Here I have a data to send in the body. I have the data to send in the header. In the header I am sending the content type. In the body I am sending the passenger data. I need to combine the header and body. To combine the header and body, I am using HTTP entity object. It is taking body object as a parameter, header object as a first parameter, header object as a second parameter. With this, do I have header and body combined in the entity? Yes. Header and body combined in the entity now. Are you able to follow this? Now here, in order to send that request, earlier we used post for entity method. Now I will use a generic method called exchange. rt.exchange. See the URL. See the overloaded method. URL, HTTP method, request entity, response type. Earlier this was taking only 3 parameters. What are those 3? Which URL, what data, what response type. Now it is taking 4 URLs. What is the 4 URLs? One is endpoint URL. Method also we need to specify. Exchange is a generic method. It can be used to send the get request, post request, put request, delete request. Post for entity means it is for only sending a post request. Exchange method is a generic method. Now here I will specify HTTP method dot post. HTTP method dot post. Request for entity. Yeah, this is my request entity. Response type is what? I'm expecting a string dot class. Now here it is going to give us response entity. It is going to give us the response entity. It is going to give us the response entity. Using that response entity, I'm calling get body. Using the response entity, I'm calling the get body. Everything is same. Here, 3 lines of code added extra. Instead of the post per entity method, I'm calling exchange method. Are you guys able to follow me? Are you guys able to follow me? How to send the headers? How to send the headers? By using REST template. Are you guys able to follow me how to send the headers using REST template? Come on. rt.exchange method we are using to send the headers using REST template. Okay. HTTP headers object I have created. For that header I am setting the header which I want to send. Then I am taking here data, passenger request object, and I am passing the headers. HTTP entity object is created, and I have created the REST template object. Using REST template I am calling a exchange method. So which URL I want to access, which method I need to send, what is the data I need to send in the request entity. Request entity contains header data and body data. Then I am calling the exchange method. Are you guys able to understand this code? Are you guys able to understand this code? How to send HTTP headers using REST template? Exchange is a generic method. Exchange method is a generic method. Exchange is a generic method. Exchange is a generic method. You got my point? Exchange method is a generic method. By exchange is a generic method. By using that we can send any type of HTTP request. In REST template class, exchange is a generic method. Using that we can send any type of HTTP request. In REST template class, exchange is a generic method. Using that we can send any type of HTTP request. Now, for example, when I am making a GET request, can I send accept header? Can I send a accept header for the GET request? I want to accept the data only in the JSON format. I want to accept data only in the JSON format. Can I send a request with accept header? Come on. How can I send that? First, what is the step I need to do? HTTP headers. I need to create a headers is equal to new HTTP headers. What I need to do? Headers dot set accept. Set accept list of media type, acceptable media types. I think let's add this. Headers dot add. Header name, header value. Let me go for accept. What is the header value? I want to accept only JSON data. I want to accept only JSON data. You got it? Now, here I'm going to create HTTP entity. Is there anything that I'm going to send now? HTTP entity. Entity is equal to new HTTP entity of only headers I'm going to supply. Do I have a body to send a GET request? No body. When I go for POST request, there is a body. There is a body that I need to send. That's why I'm passing body object and a header data. But when I'm sending a GET request, do I have the body or I don't have a body for the GET request? There is no body for the GET request. So what I need to send? I will send a simple GET request